everybody. Hello, everybody. Buddy. Hello, everybody. All right, so before we get started, 3 things. 3. 1, 2, 3. Count them 3. Number 1. Today is, I think, day 8 in a row of uploading to my ASMR channel. If you are new here, I'm kind of on this personal challenge to see how many days I can film and edit and upload in a row without missing a day. And it started getting challenging around day 5. So we're on day 8. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be very surprised if we can make it the rest of the week. If we can make it the rest of the week, we're going to be golden. And then I might, be able to keep going and get a workflow down, but struggle. It's happening. Number two. I have purchased new lights. I like them, but as you can see, the lights are a little too harsh. I have 1 layer of diffusion on them. I think that they'll be perfect once I add a 2nd layer of diffusion on both of them. I was recording a video yesterday from my other channel. It's a pretty big video. If you want to go over there and watch it tomorrow, it releases tomorrow. And I could tell that the light was too harsh, but I fixed it in post enough to where I was satisfied. And I'm going to have to add another layer of diffusion for these because this is driving me insane. So I apologize about that. Number three. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that way you will be notified when I post a video, because I don't know how much longer these everyday videos are going to make it, but we're going to go as long as we can. And I don't know, I don't know where I'm going with this. So let's just go ahead and get to the video, or get to the topic of the video. So today I'm going to teach you 2 things. I'm going to teach you how to open a flask, a hydro flask, and I'm going to teach you how to untwist the top. Now, let's go ahead and get started. This is a hydro flask. This is my favorite hydro flask. And it's got some wear and tear, if you can see where I have dropped it. So it's clean. It's just, it reminds me of all of the outdoor activities that I do, that I like to do. Because I look at the hydro flask and I think of all of the places that I've been with it. So, this is the hydro flask. The hydro flask is used for keeping things hot or cold. You can put ice water in this and it'll last all day long. This cylinder portion right here is aluminum. It's not a very sturdy aluminum, which it should be, but we're not going to get into that. It holds the liquid in this portion. Moving to the bottom, this is aluminum. This is a silicone covering from the bottom that you can get to protect the bottom of the hydro flask. Clearly, I needed a silicone entire mug. Or, needed the whole flask to be made out of silicone. So, this is a lid. This is a lid. This is the actual flask. This is the lid. This is the actual flask. Now, the flask does not come with stickers on the flask. I put these on here. 7 Deadly Sins for my anime. And Mondo, because I just wanted the sticker. You can put your own stickers on the flask. You can put your own stickers on the flask. You don't want to put your stickers on the lid. You don't want to put your stickers on the lid. You want to put your stickers on the flask. You don't want to put your stickers on the silicone bottoming. If you even want a silicone bottoming, this may get a little complicated. You don't have to have the silicone bottoming. You don't. You don't have to have this. This will come off. This will come off. I don't want it to come off because I just like it on there. If you don't like it on there, you can purchase one without a silicone flask. By the way, not sponsored. Not sponsored. Now, let's get into the actual important part. The function of this is to hold liquid for you to be able to drink. Now, you might be asking, well, how do I drink out of it, Daniel? Well, listen, I'm going to tell you. Now, remember, this is the silicone bottoming. This is the flask. And this is the lid. Now, when you drink out of the lid, when you're drinking out of the lid, it's very important that if you go to drink out of the lid and you drink, you put it up to your mouth, you put the lid to your mouth, and then you slowly tilt up at an angle to drink the liquid out of the flask. But nothing is going to come out of the flask unless you open the lid. Unless you open this lid. Now, flask, lid, flask, lid. You following me? Okay, good. Good. Now, this lid right here has a little divot. The lid has a divot. What you need to do, you need to take your thumb. Out of all of your digits, you need to take your thumb. You take your thumb, you put it on the bottom of this ridge right here. You take your thumb, you put it on the bottom of the ridge. Now, this is important. Are you paying attention? Because you're going to have to do this by yourself when we're done. Okay. Flask, lid, notch on the lid. You see the notch? You see the notch on the lid? Take your thumb, put it on the bottom of the notch. Now, you're going to want to press up. You're going to want to take this and you're going to want to press up. That is going to unlock the latch on the lid. You're going to unlock the latch on the lid. Once you take your thumb and you press up to unlock the latch on the lid, then you can take this, you can take the notch that you just lifted, keep pushing. It doesn't have to be your thumb, it can be. But really from this point on, you can use any finger that you have to press all the way back to do this. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool. Now that you've accomplished all of that, you've got a hole for drinking Now, this is the part where I showed you earlier. You can take this portion of the lid, press this up against your mouth and tilt up. This time, liquid will come out of the flask. Liquid will come out of the flask for you to drink. But, only if you take off the lid and fill the flask up first. Now, don't worry. It's okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take care of you. I got you. Now, we're going to close the lid before we unscrew the lid off of the flask, okay? We're not screwing it off the silicone because it is attached to the bottom of the actual flask. The lid is attached to the flask, okay? The lid is attached to the flask. The lid is attached to the flask. So, it's very important. You need to take the notch that we have over. You need to just push. Just keep pushing it and keep pushing it until it hits this. Now this isn't closed. You're going to need to take your fingers and press down. Any finger. It doesn't have to be your thumb when you're closing it. Any finger, and when you hear that noise, your lid is closed. Congratulations. We've accomplished a lot so far, but we're almost there, okay? We're almost there. Okay, so now, silicone, flask, lid. Now, when you're removing a lid, you're going to need to take your hand and you're going to need to put it on the lid. You don't need to take your hand and put it on the flask. That's not going to do anything. If you take your hand and you put it on the silicone, that's also not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything for you, okay? That's not going to do anything for you. Now, but once you have your hand on the flask, there's a very specific way you need to turn this. There's a very specific way that you need to turn this. Now, you need to turn this counterclockwise, okay? So, you need to take it, and you need to twist it, and you need to start twisting it. Now, when you twist it, you can't just keep twisting it like this. This is not going to work. So you're going to have to grab it, twist, lift your hand off. Go back around, grab it, twist, lift your hand off. And you need to keep doing that until you can lift the lid off of the flask. Until you can lift the lid off of the flask. See, the lid's off of the flask. This is the lid. This is the flask. This is the lid. This is the flask. Okay? Anyways, once you fill your lid, listen to me. See, we've learned so much today that my brain's fried. Once you fill your flask up with the desired drink of choice, I would recommend ice water because it's so hot outside. We all need to drink ice water, but to each his own. So you do you. Now, you take the flask and you take the lid. Now, this is really important. The lid that has the notch on the top of it, you don't want to put that down on the flask. It's not going to fit. There's side of the flask that has the ridges and the seal. You're going to want to place this on the flask. Did you see that? I'm going to do it again. You're going to want to take the side with the ridges and you're going to want to place it on the flask. But you're not done because it's not closed. Do you remember earlier when we went counterclockwise? When we went counter. When we went counterclockwise, to tighten it, we're going to go clockwise. We're going to spin it this way. Now remember, put your hand, twist, let go. Hand, twist, let go. Hand, twist until you can't anymore. Okay? And, it doesn't have to be a hydro flask. You can basically do this with any single flask that you have. Whether it be a flask that you want to fill full of whiskey because you need it, or vodka, or gin, scotch, whatever you want. Or if it's just a regular drinking flask. Or if it's just a regular drinking flask. These rules, follow all of these rules, and you will be fine. You'll be perfect. Now again, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you've gotten some ASMR tingles from this. Again, like this video, put a comment down below and let me know what you would like to see. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my videos. No matter how sick or tired I am, I still make videos for you guys, and I can tell that you appreciate them. So I love you. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.